a lot of people subscribe to what I call the victim paradigm, or, the victim pattern, and they don't realize they're subscribing to it. Whenever you subscribe to blame and projection to something outside of you, what are you inherently saying to yourself and to the universe? You're inherently saying that you are not as powerful as whatever that thing was. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Like, people will not get out of where they're at, like here, let's say, like they're like really, really struggling, until they see beyond this pattern. And a lot of times this is the pattern they need to see beyond. So right here, this means that they are waiting for things to happen to them, right? And this means that they are waiting for someone else to save them. It means that they're waiting for a handout. It means that they're waiting for someone to bestow something to them, or whatever that's outside of themselves, or whatever it is. Okay. And they are not willing to actually go for it themselves. Like, the universe has given you things and the universe has given me things, but it only really wants to give you things if you're the kind of person who's willing to go after it.
Paget Kagy is a frequency healer and quantum coach, activating her clients to embody the most powerful version of themselves so they can create the lives they were meant for. She does this by awakening them to higher states of being, aligning them to their true potential in the quantum field, and helping them release what is not serving them. I welcome today Paget Kagy.
Yeah, you better. Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this world should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Yeah, you better. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, I'm the mess, and happily be found the new in your hands.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unlimited with Elisabeth Carson. Today I have the very special Paget Kagy on my podcast. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Please forgive me. This never happens.
We
love
should
your
just
vibe.
leave this in.
Okay. It's crazy. It is Mercury retrograde. Tomorrow's 11/11. The energy is crazy. This never happens, I swear. Oh my God.
Oh my
Bloopers on Unlimited. Let me try again. All right. We'll get one of these. We're going to get one of these. We'll get one of these. All right. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unlimited with Elisabeth Carson. Today, I have Paget Kagy on my podcast. Did I get it right?
Almost. We're going to run with it.
Okay. Guys, we have been having a time here. I don't know why I cannot say this beautiful woman's name right. Oh my God, this never happens. It's retrograde. I was just saying it's retrograde. And look, I'm so grateful that you're here with me today, because I have watched you on Instagram. I love your clips. I swear to God, they bring light into my day. And I'm so honored to have you here, but I'm also so grateful that you're dealing with me in this trouble of me saying your name. I'm so sorry.
It's so common. Don't even worry about it. Most people don't. They just breeze right through it. So thank you for even, stopping to care.
Look, I try to get it right. Okay. That's right. But we're unlimited here, guys. We're unlimited. So again, thank you so much for being here with me today. And look, your page is so inspiring. Seriously. Like, how did you even get into this work? Like, did you have a spiritual awakening? Have you always been like this? Like, what happened?
I mean, how does anyone get into spirituality? I'm going to maybe speak for everybody, or maybe speak to no one, but like, I feel like most of us get into spirituality because a couple things, right? It's like things are not working in our life, and we're like, why the heck isn't it working? Like, it's not what they told us in school, which is like, just work really hard and just do all the right things, and then everything's going to get brought to you. So there was that, right? There was like the dark night of the soul of like, okay, things are not working in my reality. And then it's like, what's deeper? There has to be something deeper. And then I feel like also for you too, right? Like, we're people where we know there's something more in life, like, and we're on the search to really understand the truth behind what is that magic, or what is that something more in life. Like, to me, when I was little, I was always really obsessed with magic and things like that, and unicorns and like the magical. Yeah, I could totally see that for you too. Yeah. Right. And so we always just knew that there was something more. And so I think when you put those combination of things together, which usually it happens that way, you just start to like dig deeper. and deeper and deeper and deeper because you're following truth. You're following something that you've always known.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was, a whole bunch of trauma for me, actually, that kind of was like, it just smacked me over the head one day and was like, wake up. There's something more. Figure it out. I'm like, okay. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's been a ride. It's definitely been a ride. So when you first started looking into this stuff, what were you attracted to? Like, what type of information did you kind of dive into right away?
Oh my gosh. So it's funny because I didn't realize how pivotal like this was gonna play in my journey, but it started because I was like dating a whole bunch of people. I was trying to meet the one. I was trying to meet my person. And so I was like online dating and I literally kept a spreadsheet of how many dates I was going on. I went on like 87 first dates until I found my person who I'm with now. But before that, like I don't know, the 85th date, I think, or something like that. I met someone who I was like, oh my God, this is it. And he was perfect on paper and all this stuff. And then I found out like 6 months later that he was secretly engaged the whole time. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, and I know the whole time. And so this is kind of weird, right? Because I was like, I have this sneaking suspicion that there's something off here. He doesn't text me like when he should be texting, whatever. And so I went to a site. Like this is the first time I actually went to a psychic. And I didn't even believe in that at the time. But I went there and I'm like, look, I don't know, like, is this person cheating? Like, what's going on? And here's what's really funny, Elizabeth, is that she actually told me, she was like, no, he seems all good. He seems all fine. But, I'm all about, checking, great, crossing your T's, dotting your I's. So I go home and I have this brilliant idea and I'm like, okay, I'm going to literally Google him and like wedding registries, right? Because everyone registers their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found that he was registered and his wedding was literally in just like a few weeks. And I had just seen this person and I'm thinking, holy cow, this person's a psychopath or a sociopath. And so I get on the call with him. I'm really scared because he knows where I live. And I'm like, hey, I just don't think this is working. Okay, bye. And I don't tell him why we break up because I'm just like, how can this person lie to me for this long? So anyway, my point is that was my first foray into spirituality. Was I needed an answer and I didn't know how to confirm like this suspicion I had about, this person that I was dating. And then from there, right? Like once you open the psychic door, I feel like a lot of other doors open and you're like, okay, but what was she tapping into? Because I asked her a lot of questions about different stuff and I'm like, she must be tapping into something. And then from there, I went on this whole like research about, self-help and affirmations and The Secret and the whole thing, right? And I was doing all the manifestation and all that stuff. And then as I got deeper and deeper and deeper into it, all that stuff is amazing, but it wasn't really working for me. So it forced me to go even deeper and go, okay, beyond the mind, beyond even the subconscious mind, there has to be something else, right? Because I can change my mindset, but why is it not changing me? And then that's when I discovered that there's these deeper energies that lay beyond the subconscious mind, that when we shift those deeper energies, I mean, this is getting really, really deep, Elizabeth, but like we literally shift what I call like the dimensional reality of the space and time coordinate that we operate in this matrix. I know that sounds insane, but when we do that, we then open up possibilities to what I call different timelines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where things start to really cook or change.
Yes. I love what you're saying so much because basically this is what I teach people. There are infinite possibilities and it's like our observance and perception of the current period of time and how we perceive whatever is happening in our third dimensional reality will shift us into that specific timeline. So we're literally pulling possibility out of quantum into third dimensional reality. So no, it's not way out there. It's like so good. Is that which kind of like what you're saying here? Like
it is. And I think, like as I've gotten into this space more and more, because I didn't like, by the way, and I'm sure you same exact thing, right? We didn't plan on necessarily doing this or really understanding these things. It's really just a process. It's kind of funny because whenever I do an interview, I kind of channel, I feel like the interviewer, and kind of like, so when I look at you, it's like the process of just like you, and I know that this is the process of remembering who we truly are and everything like that. But for you, it really is like the process of like just remembering what you already knew. And that's kind of like what it would feel like for you. It's the same thing for me. It just, I look at it differently than I think how most people look at it. So I look at it as though, we are operating within a certain energy bubble, and like we're creating this energy bubble. And like we're creating it from, let's say, you can even imagine physically, there's like a specific point in space and time that you operate in within even your physical body or your energetic body. And then that energy like emits out your energetic field and then creates the possibilities around you. It literally attracts and creates everything around you, who you would attract, the kind of things that you would see, like you said, the perception of possibilities, all of that stuff. But when you literally shift that point within you into what I call another dimensional reality, I know this is sounding all over the place, that's where you actually shift into different levels of possibility. So instead of thinking of it like I'm bringing this possibility of the quantum field to me, the way I think of it is I emanate a different frequency, and then the possibilities just naturally just change around me. So I look at it a little bit differently than most people, but I'm not saying that the other way of looking at it is wrong. I'm just saying I just see it a different way.
I got the picture in my head. That's beautiful. I love learning things that I haven't, seen before or heard before. And I've never heard that. And that's amazing and beautiful because you know what? I can see that because we literally create, right? We are the creation.
Yes.
At the end of the day, not from ego, but everything is us.
Yes.
So if everything is us and we are the divine, right? Because we're connected to the divine, then everything is from us. So it emanates out of us.
100%. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I can see that. So a question, if a person, right, just me, for instance, okay, I'm asking from personal experience. So I have been through so much in my life, right? So much. And going through so much, a lot of people, they hold resentment, they hold anger, they hold frustration. They want all these things, right? So they're trying to shift that point of reality, but they can't do it because they're so bogged down with all of the stress.
Yes.
So how do you shift when you're in that state?
Yes. So a really freaking good question. So when I look at you, for instance, it's like when I see you, you are like exceptionally resilient. Like, I mean, like dragon level resilience. You have like crazy levels of resilience, and you are also a fighter. So you will fight to get whatever it is that you want to get. And you are very good at doing that. Now here, okay, so how do I explain this? Okay, so let's say that is your identity, because maybe that's not your identity anymore. Maybe that was your past identity. But let's say that was your identity, where you're extremely resilient. You're a fighter. You will fight your way toward anything. You can get whatever it is that you want, like in fighting your way toward it. Okay. That to me would be a certain dimensional reality that I'm talking about. Meaning that's a paradigm of reality where you would have to like fight your way and then also be extremely resilient in order to get the things that you want. Right. So what I'm talking about is if you dropped those paradigms, so you dropped the energy that was creating those, where you realize, oh my God, wait, Elisabeth, like when you awaken beyond that pattern, the fighter pattern, holy shit, like I don't need to fight nobody. Like it just can come to me. Then all of a sudden you shift your dimensional reality. You shift the paradigms of reality. All of a sudden you're in this dimensional reality. You realize, oh shit, I can leave that identity where I had to fight so hard, where I had to be so resilient. And actually things can come to me a lot easier and a lot smoother than I thought my entire life because of whatever conditioning or whatever I inherited through my lineage or even past lives or whatever it is. And that would be you awakening to a completely different paradigm of life itself. So whereas Elisabeth over here, it's like, yeah, get the fuck off my porch. Like step the fuck off. Right? Like back the fuck off. This is mine. All of a sudden, Elisabeth over here, she just like, people just naturally go, oh yeah, of course that's yours. Here you go. Do you see what and then so all of a sudden you change the paradigm of the way in which your reality operates.
Yes. You know what had to happen to me for that to happen? Because I did shift out of that fighter. Look, my whole life was hustling. I can get whatever I want, but I got to hustle and get, you know what I'm saying? It was all like the grind, and it was hard, right? I had to go through my divorce to understand finally that, I mean, it's the last dark night, and it's like, okay, now allowance, like I'm allowing things to happen to me that open up for me, opportunities open up for me. And I'm kind of just here allowing reality to come to what I know I deserve. But it took a dark night to get there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do people shift out of that consciousness, even like, you know, before having to go through something like a dark night?
Girl, that is the question, right? Like that is the question. I love how you put it. Like, so, I mean, I'm sure your listeners already know this, but it's like, I love how you put it where it's like, yeah, like that's what dark nights do. They literally force you to reinvent your energy and reinvent yourself and awaken to who you truly are. And they like literally shatter all conceptions of who you thought you needed to be. And that's the gift of it. That's the beauty of it. Most people like, so for instance, by the way, Elisabeth, not everyone would be able to do it the way that you did it. Right. A lot of people would just end up beating themselves up or falling into victimhood and then not even like rising beyond that. So first of all, that's in itself actually a gift that you have. That's where the resilience comes and everything like that, because you're actually able to use it to up level. A lot of people can't do that. But in answer to your question about, well, how do people do it without having to go through literally their entire lives, you know? So like, okay, so I'm just going to say, like, for some people who have a lot of, look, and this is me too, okay? Control, fear patterns, right? They're overachievers. They like to hang on to things. They don't really let go of things very well. And they don't like being out of control. Sometimes it literally has to happen that way, that you have to have a dark night of the soul because you will not let go. It's like, you will not let go. The universe is like, all right, we're going to literally like make it no choice that you have to let go. Yeah. So that's number one, is that some people, they actually have to go through it because they have too many control patterns. At least that's what I see. Other people, the way that they can do it is literally just let go more often, right? Be like, okay, that's not serving me. But in order to do that, like, so from my perception, like working with people, it's like, you have to identify very quickly, almost an everyday practice, what am I being asked to let go of? Because a lot of people, they don't realize that they're being asked to let go of something. And they're just like, they just keep on digging in their heels. And so if you make it a practice of like, and this is just how I live, and I'm not saying it's always freaking, you know, roses or whatever, like there's still smaller dark nights I go through more consistently, but I prevent myself going to the crazy dark nights because I'm more practiced at like, okay, I'm supposed to let that go. Okay, I'm supposed to let that go. Okay, I'm supposed to let that go.
I love that. I love that so much. And you're so freaking right. You're so right, because it is because the universe will send you signs all the time. And if you're too busy, right? If you're too busy, or if you're holding on to something that your intuition always told you that you shouldn't hold on to, but you ignored it because you're supposed to be doing this, or you're supposed, or your love is this big, or everything's going to fall down if you don't do this. You're so freaking right. And that's kind of the lessons that I learned. I had to lose everything for me to learn this lesson. But now I'm telling people, yes, it's like, I think it's a matter of, you know, coming back into yourself and realizing, okay, what feels good to me, what, you know, and then really working with your intuition, which is what we've always been taught to ignore. To be honest, in my opinion. I really believe
100%. Like we now then add on top of that, like all the, you know, what they taught us in school, grade school, high school, with our parents, you know, society, our peers, everyone being pretty much, no offense, a lot of people being brainwashed, right? And then all of a sudden we also have to decondition ourselves out of all of those things on top of releasing the bullshit that we've taken on. Yeah. I mean, it's not like easy as, you know, we make it out to be a lot of the times.
No, it's really not. It's not. Well, life, you know what? I feel like it is perception, right? You can either look at life like it is so hard and all this stuff is so hard, or you can look at it like it's a game and it's fun. And whatever is for me. And it's like, you know, exactly in the moment now, I'm like, you know what? If it doesn't work out that way, it just wasn't supposed to be. It's all perfect.
Let me ask you, can I ask you a question? Were you always like that?
No.
So what can I, because I feel like this is going to be actually really helpful. What allowed you to be more like that?
Oh, my dark night.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was my dark night. I was forced to let go of everything that I thought was. I was forced to. And in being forced to, I realized, wow, like being stripped to nothing, I realized, oh my God, well, I can't do anything else but allow, right? And then as I started to believe and trust in my intuition and the allowance of the universe giving me what I know was destined for me, the magic started happening.
Beautiful.
Magic. That's what I feel like all of this is. So
yes,
when people start to trust, right, and allow, what happens when they still are not seeing what is, well, I think it's all divinely perfect, but I'm looking through
yeah,
another
yeah,
perspective.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
seeing, like maybe the money's not coming, right? And they're broke and they got a family to support, or maybe the job isn't coming and they have to, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the love of their life is not coming. So what then is not in alignment, or what then is wrong with perception in those moments?
Very, very good question. And this can honestly be a few different things. So, okay, the thing that's coming up. So, one of the things, and here's the thing that also allowed you to get out of it, which I told you, some people will not. Okay, is that a lot of people subscribe to what I call the victim paradigm, or, the victim pattern, and they don't realize they're subscribing to it. So let me tell you, when you're running this pattern, and guys, we all have different levels of this. All right. I still am like, fuck these people for doing, you know what I mean? But we all have different levels of it. But at what level are you operating from this pattern? So if you are the person who's like, hey, it's because of the government, or hey, it's because my sister, she cheated me out of that, and no wonder I could never have picked myself back up. Whenever you subscribe to blame and projection to something outside of you, what are you inherently saying to yourself and to the universe? You're inherently saying that you are not as powerful as whatever that thing was.
Thank
okay.
you. Yes.
Right. And so that's what I see a lot of the time, Elisabeth, is that like people will not get out of where they're at, like here, let's say, like they're like really, really struggling, until they see beyond this pattern. And a lot of times this is the pattern they need to see beyond. So right here, this means that they are waiting for things to happen to them. Right. And this means that they are waiting for someone else to save them. It means that they're waiting for a handout. It means that they're waiting for someone to bestow something to them, or whatever that's outside of themselves, or whatever it is. Okay. And they are not willing to actually go for it themselves. So the way that I see it is, the universe is going to want to give you shit. Okay. Like the universe has given you things, and the universe has given me things, but it only really wants to give you things if you're the kind of person who's willing to go after it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's like, so are you the kind of person who's willing to go after it? Most people go, well, I don't know what it is, right? So they don't even do anything, and they just expect the universe. No, the universe is going to meet you at the level that you meet it. So the way I see it a lot of the times, and the way it worked for me, is like, you go after whatever it is. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. You go after it. You fight for it. Like, you have to fight for it sometimes, right? Fight the pattern. And then when you have gotten to a certain level, the universe can then meet you. But unless you're actually doing that, the universe can't meet you, because you're not really moving. And so that's usually what I see, is that people are just like, they're not willing to change. They're not willing to actually move or do anything, because they're waiting for something to happen for them.
Yeah, that's so true. I call it, I talk about victim mentality a lot. And I feel like that really honestly is the freaking problem with this whole world, because we've been taught and conditioned and systemized so much that we don't have the power. And we have all of the power.
Yes.
But yet we give it away because we judge a person through our own hurts and pains, right? And so now we're releasing our power to external sources.
Yes.
And when we do that, we give away all of everything that we have to create.
Yes.
It's insane to me. Well, it's not insane. It's not insane. It's just unconscious, right? It's unconsciousness, I think.
100%. Yeah. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I see. So if you are someone, and I'm politely calling people out, because this was me, hello, and I'm a human being. If you are someone who likes to complain more than you like to create, you're running this pattern. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to look at where you're trapped in blame. You got to look at it. And I know it's hard to look at, and I know I'm probably going to trigger a couple people here, but that's how you change. Okay. Is you see yourself like as though you are a bird that is flying out of your body and you're looking down at yourself and you're like, whoa, she complains a lot. She doesn't really do that much. Okay. Like you got to get into the practice of really seeing your, like, cause Elisabeth, you were just talking about, we are not our ego. Okay. Guys, all of you guys, all of us, we are operating from our ego. We're operating from some fictitious character that we are creating because of energy, because of conditioning, because of whatever, past lives, lineage, whatever. Okay. We have to get into the practice of like literally like almost flying outside of ourselves and going, what does that character manifest in their lives? Right? What is that character a match to? Right? And until we can actually do that, it's really, really hard for us to change our lives, because then we just do the same shit over and over and over again and pretend like it's going to change when it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I tell people too, like, I love triggers, I love being triggered
100%.
because a trigger is a mirror for
100%.
a place inside of you that you can grow. It's showing you a pattern that you can break.
100%.
Yes. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I love triggers. I love fear. I love all of these feelings. I do. Like, I jump on the other side of fear, because every time I've jumped over fear, on the other side is greatness.
Yes.
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 Yes. Do you agree? Is that happened to you?
Oh, 100. If I could give you a high five, I would so give you a high five right now. 100%. But do you see how most people see? This is where you and I are very similar, because I look at it like a game as well, like that, where, I'm not always winning, because sometimes my ego takes over and I'm like, no, that is too scary. Let me just wait a second and do that until I'm ready. And that's okay. But our greatest fears are just the portals to the other reality that we want to be in, right? That's literally all they are. They're just the portal to the next level of reality. And now most people, so call yourself out if this is you, most people avoid every single fear they literally, without realizing it, operate their lives avoiding fear, operate their lives avoiding discomfort, operate their lives avoiding something that is going to trigger them. Right? Yeah. How many of you guys waste your time, right? Instead of doing the thing, you literally are like, how do I like get around feeling uncomfortable while I do this thing? And you literally take the long road, where you could have dealt with it in the minute, like, and it literally would have taken 5 minutes, but instead you take like 5 days to do it. And then you come back around and then you kind of deal with it, but not really. And then it doesn't go well.
Right. Right. See, that's what I feel like. Honestly, I love how you said that. It's the portal into the new reality, because 100%. That's so true. Because I really feel like once we're able to kind of dive through our fears and get to the other side, that's where our creativity is. Like, that's where our talents lay. I mean, I used to be so scared to even stand up. I was in college, and to even say my name and who I was, like, I would almost faint.
Really?
But now yes. I was terrified to public speak. But now I'm speaking on stages all over the world.
Of
you know
course.
What I'm saying? So it's like, on the other side of that, once I jumped over that, boom, my whole other reality. It's beautiful.
My God. So I love that example, actually, Elisabeth, because because that's like probably one of the most tangible examples, right? Literally, it's like, oh, I was so scared. And I'm kind of something similar, actually, but I was so scared to speak in front of people. I literally wanted to puke. Okay. And then you did it. And then you went through the portal. And then, oh my God, now what I do is speaking.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get more like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Tangible.
Do you think there's something with polarity with that, with like, yin yang, and it's like something with this, the way that the universe works? Do you think there's something to that?
So, like 100% there's 100% something to that. When I was growing up, I literally said to my family and everyone, I was like, I never want to own a business. I never want to do sales, and I never want to write. I never want to do those 3 things. And it's like, oh, great. Now you're doing those things. Right. And now I can't imagine my life without having to do those things in a way. Right. Like, as a business owner. And so 100, like, because if you, okay. So here's what I will say is that if you think about it, like, if this is all a game, okay, and if this is all a game of remembering who we are and remembering our inherent power, then wouldn't it make sense that we would design the game in such a way that by stepping through our greatest fears, we remember our power and see the illusion of the fear itself, because now we've embodied our power, right? And we're like, oh my God, that was just an illusion. And that makes us even more powerful in the thing.
Yeah. It's like a video game for
It's a
real.
video game. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have to like fight the bad guy, right? You got to like get through. I mean, there's resistance at every level. There's always resistance, and you have to go through the resistance to up level.
But also, here's another thing too, even more specifically about what you're talking about, is like, I don't know, Elizabeth, like, would you be as powerful of a speaker if like it was always really freaking easy for you?
Take
Do you know
things
what I
for
mean? Like,
granted.
are
Yes.
you more embodied as a speaker because it
Oh
was
yeah.
hard for you?
Oh yeah.
Do you
Oh,
know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Because
Mhm.
you understand, like, you have gone through every single little process that it took you in order to get to this level and this point. Do you know what I mean? It's like embodied in you. It has to be embodied in you because you didn't just get it as like a, oh, here you go. Like, here you go,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah, you have to go through. I feel like that's the lesson in every level up, right? It's like you have to go through the thing that makes you have so much gratitude and just embody the new person.
Yes,
Exactly.
100%.
Yes. So what would you say, right? What would you say to the person that has been clocking in, right? Knows that it's not for them, knows in their heart
Mm,
that it's not for them, but they have to do it because
mhm.
it is feeding their family. But they're so worried to quit the job because they don't know if their idea will ever, do anything. Like what do you say to that person? Like how do you transform this third dimensional reality quickly enough to be able to go through these obstacles to not end up on the street or like
I
broke
tot
and just
I totally know what you mean. So, how do I give this as like a tangible kind of example? This is what I say to people. I'm like, you can do anything. Meaning, okay, so what do I mean by that? So let's say you're like, I'm gonna quit my job because I'm done playing this game. You can 100% do that, guys. And yes, like if you follow the game of energy, right, you are gonna meet that next opportunity. But it's like, what is your tolerance level for fear? What is your
mm,
tolerance level in your body for processing through your own shit that you would need to process through in order to then become a match to your next level opportunity? You see what I'm saying?
mm,
Because here's the thing. It's like, let's say you quit and then you did become homeless. And it's like, oh my God, the worst thing ever happened to me. But actually, what if you being homeless for a second, and talking very theoretically, guys, okay? You being homeless for a second, you were able to have a dark night of the soul, process through all of your garbage, literally become so much more resourceful, literally like rewire yourself like that. Okay. And then all of a sudden in a year, you were a multimillionaire because that stuff can actually happen. Whereas you can also take another path where I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to quit yet. So I'm going to put my ducks in a row and I'm get some things and then it's going to like start going or whatever. And then at some point I am going to have to make the leap. And so then you make the leap a little bit more gradually, right?
mhm,
But maybe you're not going to have as quick of a shot up, right? But you actually, are able to actually withstand the process. Because the point that I was making before with you going through the dark night and saying like some people will not make it through, that's what
mhm,
I'm saying. Some people will quit their job, take that leap, and they will not be able to actually process through energetically what has to come up as they do that. They have to
mhm,
do it more gradually. Okay. So in a way,
mhm,
it's harder. It's also easier.
mhm.
I don't
I
know if
get
that
it.
makes any sense, but I have
It does.
total trust in the universe that as long as you can almost make any, except don't, kill people or hurt people or whatever, but you can almost make any decision,
Yeah.
okay? And as long as you just use it to up level and use it to upgrade, you're going to be
Yeah.
a match to a higher reality. But
Yes. Yes.
if you fall into victimhood, yeah, probably not going to go so well.
Right. See, but you know what? Like, I always tell people if you have the opportunity to go through a dark night, then go through it and
Oh my
feel
God,
all
the
that
easier
shit.
said than
Get
done.
get down and dirty with those feelings, those emotions, whatever is coming up, because that is how you literally create the new you. I mean, whoa. But you have to stay away from victim mentality, because going through this dark night, I could have went to victim mentality and then my reality right now would not be what it is at all. I would have lost my power
100%.
through it. But you have to
100%.
keep that mindset. But it's like, if you're able to keep that powerful mindset and say, I create
Yes.
everything, right? I mean,
Yes.
take accountability, look at
Yes.
your own actions, look at
Yes.
yourself,
Yes.
fix those patterns that were creating that reality that didn't work
Exactly.
so good for you. Then you can up level like that though.
100%.
Quick.
100%. That's exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, and this is where it gets a little matrixy, right? Is that you're okay, Elizabeth, you're giving that advice from someone who is fully seeing and fully bought into the fact that this is a matrix. Okay. Most people are not there yet. Okay. Most people are like, why the heck did that person not invite me to that party? Fuck her. Okay. Most people are like worried about all this stupid shit. Do you really think, right? They're at the level of seeing through the matrix enough to go, yes, sign me up for that dark night of the soul so that I can get out on the other side. Right. So people have different stages of awakening.
Yeah.
And, and so, people kind of have to adjust to what, to their comfort level. Let's put it that way.
Right. I get that. So how do you think that people can like do that adjustment? I mean, I teach shadow work. I really feel like shadow work is key here because it helps you to be able to withstand things as they come for you because you open your eyes and you open your eyes and you open your eyes more. What do you think about that?
100%. I love shadow work. I think, okay. So here's the thing, for people like me and you, I think, shadow work is amazing and it like does a lot of, it's because we're already designed to change. We're already designed to go to a higher level of frequency. I would say that for other people, because I also work with shadow work with my clients and things like that. But a lot of times people who've been doing shadow work for even like years, okay, unless they're like at a particular frequency, it's not enough. Like they actually need this like hard, like almost energetic awakening moment for then the shadow work to basically help them like go through the process a little bit faster. So like, and I'm not just speaking specifically about me, but like, for instance, with my clients, I help them elevate their frequency faster so that when they do the shadow work, it goes fast. Like they almost don't even need to do the shadow work, but the shadow work just helps with their mind. Another thing is ayahuasca. Maybe. I don't know if people are up for that. I've never done it. I am not willing to do it because I'm way too sensitive. Some other things are deep states of like intense meditation for, I don't know, 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is. But you do need that extra energetic kick or push from what I've seen for people to go, oh shit, okay, now I'm awakening. Okay, now I can use the shadow work almost to like help me go through this process faster. But like when I see you, Elizabeth, it's like you were already always going to go on this path anyway.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you already know.
Yeah, for sure. I think so I believe wholeheartedly there's a mind-body connection, right? And so much lives in our bodies that we can't even see. So I think with frequency upgrades, right? It's almost impossible for people to frequency upgrade if their bodies are still holding on to all of the crap, right?
Yes.
So that's why I feel like shadow work is so important. So how do you up level frequency without addressing the shadow work and without addressing like that hold that kind of chains you?
So I mean, like, because I 100% agree with you, Elizabeth, because it's not just about your mind. It is about your body and mind and your spirit. It's the entire thing all together. It has to be moving together. It's just that sometimes I see with some people who do certain shadow work, and I'm not saying everybody, I'm not actually making that blanket statement, but they're only doing it with their mind. And then, so for instance, it's like, I'll work with someone and they'll be like, oh yeah, and I discovered this pattern, like, even doing my exercise. Okay. Like I discovered this pattern in shadow work and I'm like, yes, that's amazing. That's so it. And then when I read their energy, I'm like, and it goes deeper and there's actually a deeper layer that needs to be excavated. And then, whatever. And then all these other things will release after that. So like I said, having help from being in a high frequency space. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're helping your clients, like, elevate their frequency, or like I use my frequency, I call them frequency clearings or activations, where it just helps people elevate to a higher level of consciousness. And then they go and do the shadow work. Then it's like the mind, body, and frequency integration together. But I just feel like for some people who just get in your heads and you're not like feeling the process, you kind of need that extra like support.
Yes, yes. Mind, body, soul. I always talk, you have to address mind, body, energy, right? All three, or nothing's going to happen because
Yes.
one is going to hold you back from the other.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So for instance, a person that is lost, right? Let's say I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah,
So
give me an instance.
let's say there's a woman has 4 kids.
Uh-huh.
And, she got let go from her job. Now
Mhm,
she's trying to create this reality, but is so bogged down, tired, and just stressed in her body, stressed in her mind, that everything that she's trying to do, she can't do because she's so stressed, like because she lost her job, doesn't have any money, like, but is trying to create from that deficit. So what would you tell
Yes.
that person?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is a hard one. So here's what I'm saying. Like when you told me that story, I don't know if it's real or not, but when you told me that story, to me, the thing that I hear is sacrifice. Okay. So like when I tap into whatever that person is going through, they have sacrificed their entire life. They have sacrificed for their kids, their family. They have sacrificed probably even at work. They've just sacrificed themselves and they feel like they have fucking nothing left and they're burned the fuck out. So so dark night of the soul. Okay. Because if you think about that, that is actually a pattern that I see in people. Literally, they have nothing left. They've sacrificed everything. And that pattern is the pattern that's run their reality, that's then saying, hello, you can't do this anymore. So the first and foremost thing that I would say is you gotta like, aside, and I get it, money and debt and all that stuff, but you actually for fucking once have to put yourself first. Like even, and I know this sounds rich coming from me, but like at some points, guys, I wasn't really making any money. Okay. So and I was very poor, but you gotta literally let go of the fear, let go of the illusion that like, you have nothing left for yourself. And you actually just have to come back to yourself. This is actually a really pivotal moment for you to go, oh, fuck all of that. I need to actually just come back to myself. And I just need to take care of me, whatever that means. Does that put me in more debt? Yes. Okay, fine. Whatever. Right. I'll get out of it. But first, I need to return to myself first. I need to release this fucking pattern that has driven me to the ground. Right. I need to come back to myself, do whatever it takes for me to just be able to give myself permission to come back to myself. Right. Be selfish AF. Let's put it that way as well. And then once I actually have a little bit more of myself, that's when I can redefine what my life is going to be. That would be a quicker way than being like, oh my God, I'm trying to hang on and still do everything and trying to do it all the same way. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's my perspective. I don't know if I'm,
No, I totally agree with you. Sometimes I even tell people, like mothers, right? I mean, mothers have it bad when they have a bunch of kids and they got to take them to practice and this practice and that practice. Well, you know what? Maybe you just don't take them to practice. Maybe they just don't do sports for a time, because at that point you're depleting, and you're pouring from empty. And eventually you're not going to pour from anything because you're going to get sick. So it's like you have to just
100%.
always put yourself first. I feel like that.
Actually, think about that, Elizabeth. What if you just driving yourself in that way literally does make you sick, and then all of a sudden you can't help anyone, and all of a sudden, oh my God, like, do you know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
The universe was actually trying to save your ass by not allowing you to get sick first. But you need to listen to the message and go, okay, I need to hear this and take care of myself first and put myself first.
Yes. And it's just, I believe it's the story people tell themselves, right? If I don't, then this, right? If I don't, then this. It's the story. It's not reality. It's the story that's creating that frequency pattern that's going to keep you stuck there. And eventually you will get sick. And eventually you're not going to be able to help anybody because you will be sick. You know?
100%. Yes. Yes. It can get worse, guy. I know but so,
It can
you know,
always
you
get
got to
worse.
do the stopgap. And then this is where understanding, right, that it is just energy, that this is just a matrix, this is a game you're playing against yourself. Well, then how do I beat the bad guy? Oh, the bad guy is me always giving myself my stuff away, me not having anything left for myself. That's the bad guy you got to tackle. And until you tackle that bad guy, nothing's going to change.
Right. Right. I so freaking agree. So what would you advise people? Give people like 3 or 4 things that they could do to start giving themselves back the energy that they've been giving everybody else.
Well, literally, like you literally just said one, right? Are like, I know you think you need to cook that dinner. Okay. I know you think you need to do that thing. I know you think you need, because guess what? For 20 years you've done it, and and no one's ever helped you out or offered whatever. I can even say this, by the way, in my own reality. So I'm not just like, just because people in your life expect something from you doesn't mean you can't question it. So like literally, I would literally question some of the stuff you do, like literally to keep a tally. Oh, I always wash the dishes, and I'm also cleaning, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And then I would literally be like, okay, what can I actually just like give to someone else actually? So even if, and I mean, I know your kids have to be at a certain age, right, to be able to do these things, but even if like you're putting a little bit on your kids or asking your kids to help out a little bit, right? Then they're going to be like, oh shit, like mom actually, cares about herself. Okay, right? They might complain at first, but you have to look at it as a game of energy. So write down all the things that you're doing that you just take for granted, everyone else takes for granted, and be like, I'm not going to do those things. And you are going to have to process through the guilt. And by the way, this is not a reason for you then to go, okay, now I have some extra free time. Let me go do more of that thing. Okay. It's like, no, is it okay for you to then just sit down and freaking relax while someone else does it? Right? Like, because I know for women, we want to take care of everything. We want to have all the things crossed and, all of that stuff. But no, like part of our essence, part of like what makes us magnetic is the fact that we can receive being served as well.
Yeah.
Right. And so you also have to look at like, well, what example are you setting for, your kids and, whether it's a son or a daughter in terms of like how they should view women and, yourself and themselves. Right. So that's one big thing that I would say. I mean, that's kind of like a huge one. And then I would look at like how often, oh, this is such a good one. Empaths, people pleasers, women do this a lot. And I know because I was doing this for the longest time. I want you to notice when you do stuff, how often are you doing it looking through the eyes of someone else that you're trying to impress, or someone else you're trying to make proud, or someone else that you think is going to approve of what you do. Okay. So for instance, like if you have a partner, and I know because I'm speaking from my own experience here. Okay. You have a partner and you're like, oh, let me make sure to do that thing because I know that my partner's really going to like it. Or I know that my partner, is going to, not my partner's going to really like it. How about this? I know if I don't do that thing, my partner's not going to like it. So then I'm making sure I don't do that thing, or I'm going to go do that thing because if I don't do it, that thing, then the partner's not going to like it or going to react negatively or think this thing of me. How many of you guys secretly filter what you do through the eyes and the judgment of the people around you? So you're literally like actually carrying out their needs and their wants on their behalf without them even saying anything. You just doing it automatically. Look at that. Are you doing these things because of you, or are you secretly doing it because of a like deeper motivation to please or whatever, placate other people, your parents, your partner, your kid, whatever it is, right? Really pay attention to who's actually controlling your reality.
Deep. Oh, I love that. Seriously. That's so true because so many people do that unconsciously. No, well, it's what I'm supposed to do. But that's the story. That's that made up story that you tell yourself. Is it reality? Probably not usually.
Exactly.
Whew, that's good. That's so good. It's authenticity, really showing up as who you are. And if you're not showing up as who you are and you're showing up for other people to make sure other people are comfortable enough for for you, right? Then those are not your people, period. Point blank.
100%. Right? But it's hard. Like, I get that it's hard because sometimes we think that this is another big thing. We think that that's our only value. If we do that our entire lives, like I thought it was my only value to take care of everyone around me. I literally didn't know. And then like, I see this too, where people then go, shit, like, well then who am I? If I'm not doing any, am I just like a sack of potato? Like what am I? Who am I if I'm not? And that's where the real awakening starts.
Yes. I love when people get there. Who am I place. I mean, sit with yourself and figure it out. You know?
Yes.
You got
yes.
to, right?
Like it's hard, right? People are not wired to do that. They're just like, what else? What next? What else? And I get it, right? We're programmed.
Yeah. So what would you tell those people? I mean, we are so sped up. I mean, Americans especially. It's like, stimulus response, walking zombies, I call it. But I mean, it's kind of systemized in order to be that, right? So how do you break those patterns?
Okay, so you're talking about political, right?
Kind of pattern. All of them. Yeah.
So, okay, here's another one that I will say, like, so I used to kind of be in politics, like not really in politics, but I used to, I don't know if you know of a presidential candidate from a couple of cycles ago. His name was Andrew Yang. Do you remember who that was? It was like an Asian guy who was talking about universal basic income.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, so I was like really obsessed with this person. He was like more bipartisan, but anyway, and I would get so angry whenever people would not agree with the way that I saw the way in which the country should run and all the policies. I would get so freaking livid angry. I'd be like, you are an effing idiot, right? And I would freak out. And then and this was one of the hardest things actually for me, because I mean, my identity was wrapped around it, but like I literally had to sit with the trigger whenever someone would not agree with me. And I would have to like really look inside of myself and be like, why does this bother me so damn much to the point where I want to rip this person's head off? Right. And I realized that at the deeper part of me, I was just really afraid of losing control. Because I was like, well, if these people can't see it the way I see it, if they can't agree with the way I see it, and I'm tying a lot of fear around what if they don't agree with me, what's going to happen to this country, what's going to happen to us, then of course I'm going to get really angry, right? But if I can actually just process through my own fear of like the loss of control and be able to like separate myself and detach myself, right, my identity from these like opinions or these feelings or whatever it is, then that's when I can cede back my power. Now, that doesn't mean I still don't agree with people, because I still disagree with a lot of people when it comes to the political stuff, right? But like, why are you so upset? Like, we have to ask these questions. Why am I getting so upset by the one family member, right, who's like, talking about this thing? And it doesn't have to be politics, to be anything. Why do I feel like I need to control the way in which they see things? That's also a really big trap, and it's a really good indication that you have that fear and that control pattern.
Yeah. So deep. I mean, everything is just a mirror into our internal reality.
Yeah.
So whatever is that angering or that triggering, it's so funny because now I look at, like I'll see comments and stuff like that, or I'll look at, really, really rude stuff. And I'm just like, dang, man. Their perception of reality is just so like, they're so angry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, and it's really just, it's just a mirror. Everything outside of us is just a mirror for our internal world. So really you're just projecting outwards what's going on inside.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. So when people can turn it around and address it, whoa, that's where you find your power.
Yes. Exactly. Where you go, oh my God, I'm not my thoughts and I'm not my feelings and I'm not this thing that I think is going to destroy my life. Oh my gosh. Right?
Yes. So how do you lower that emotional response? So you were talking about like politics, right? So how are you able to, when you turned that mirror around and realized it was about fear of losing control, how are you able to shift that emotional response to the next time that it would come up?
So it was me doing it was me sitting with the fact that it was burning up my chest. It was made me want to, if you think of it, makes you want to go, "Urgh!" Right? So
Uh-huh.
whatever it makes you want to do. So the mean people leaving mean comments, guys, you have right? For those guys who do that, for those of you who do that, right? It would be you going "Oh," and then stopping yourself and going, "Okay. What's going on?" Right. What's actually happening? Right. But most of us, and hello, I used to be a huge road rager. Okay. Most of us just go, "Blah, blah," right. And want to cut the person off, and we feed
Yeah.
the energy. So then the energy perpetuates. If you
Mm-hmm.
cut it off, and again, this is about you having the bird's eye view, especially when it's hard, and especially when it's hard. Then that's actually more of the power that you can seed back to yourself. When it's the hardest to do, that's exactly when you should do it, which is pause and go, what's actually happening in my body,
Yeah. Yes. Take a beat. I always
Yeah.
tell people take a beat, because once you can calm the nervous system down, then you can kind of see clearer, but you're not going to see clear in that moment. You have to take a beat and relax, take a deep breath. And then you can turn the mirror.
Oh, and you know what? It is insane, because if we talk about the political stuff, holy moly, it will keep on it'll keep poking you and poke. It's not one and done. It'll keep poking you until you've released it. So now I'm with certain family members, right? Before we would always have to get into politics, always, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let's just avoid it altogether, right? And I was trying to avoid it because I'm I don't want to be triggered. I don't want this to come up, blah, 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 blah. But then actually, after I process through all of it, it never comes up. Because it's not there to come up. It doesn't need to come up for me anymore.
That's
right?
universe for you. That's the game. That's the game, because you had to beat that thing. It was a thing that you had to beat. And now, because you beat it, you embody your new self. It's not going to come up because you learned that lesson.
100%.
Yes. So deep. And I just find it, I don't find it stupid, but people's perception, that's victimhood when you're blaming politics for the way that your life is, right? Because honestly, I don't really pay attention to none of it, because my reality exists in my little life bubble that I have, right?
Yes.
And in my life bubble that I have, I like my life bubble, and everything external, I don't even know what's going on half the time. Huh?
Me neither anymore.
The government's closed. It has been for a long time. Didn't affect me none. You know what I'm saying? Because I focus on what I can control in my reality.
100%. Now, a lot of people are going to get triggered that you said that, though. A lot of people would get triggered that you said that, but I 100% agree with you. That's how I live too.
Yourself, why are you triggered? You know what I'm saying? Why?
100%.
Why?
Why? Because, but Elizabeth, but you're, you don't care about other people. Okay. And so when I find this in the spiritual community a lot, when people go, but you don't care about other people, it's because they're running the victim pattern. Yep. So they feel as though they need other people to care about them in order for them to survive. It's no, you don't. You need to care about you.
Yes. Because when you can pull the speck out and you can see the bigger picture, right? No amount of stress, no amount of victim mentality is ever going to help the collective. The only thing that will help the collective is if you feel good and you're putting out good vibes.
Exactly. And you're setting an example. So someone who's all up in their head and all up freaking out and projecting everything everywhere, they meet you, Elizabeth, and oh, damn, she's really in her reality, and she's really self-contained, and she's really doing her thing, and she's focused on her thing. She's always talking about what she's doing. She's always talking about how she's empowering herself to the next level in her next level reality. Oh shit. Okay. That's a good example. Maybe I should learn from that. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how you're impacting people, is you're setting the example. And then if you think about it, if you extrapolate that to the entire universe and everyone was just focusing on themselves, not hurting other people, not projecting onto people, guys, we would live in the most peaceful fucking place in the ever. That's euphoria, right? That's it.
Yes. I always say you can't change anybody. No matter how hard you try, look, when I first woke up, I was like trying to make everybody do what I did, and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. First of all, it's annoying and irritating when you try to change people because everybody has their own life journey and it's not for you to judge it the
100%.
way that you think it should be. You need to
Yes.
focus on yourself and then you
Yes.
can inspire change in others by focusing on
100%.
yourself.
That's the only way.
The only way, the only freaking way. I was trying to change, girl. It's irritating when people are like, you should do. Everybody has their own journey, and everybody's journey is perfect for them in their reality. And it's all divine. I really feel like everything is divine. Everything is perfectly happening the way it's supposed to. So for a judgment to come in on the way that my game is supposed to work, it's like, why? Focus on your game. I'm winning your game.
Yes, 100%.
And my dog agrees too, don't you? He's like, yes, say it again. It's like, no, I mean, I really feel like, once you can let go of trying to have others think and do the way you do life, it's like, it's so much more settling within you as well. You have so much more energy to create your own stuff.
Exactly. Right. And the reason why people want you to do what they're doing or whatever it is, a lot of the times, I mean, sometimes it's actually genuine, like, oh, wow, this would really resonate with you. But other times it's like, because you don't trust yourself enough. So you're trying to get everyone around you to do it to validate your own decisions.
Mm-hmm. Right. So true. That's it. Boom. Mic drop. There it is. Wow. This was freaking amazing. I could keep going with you for like ever. Yo, I could talk to you for hours.
I know, right? I'm like, hey, Elizabeth, what do you think about? Okay, well, anyway, I would go down a whole other path.
Yes. That was amazing. Oh my God. I love the way that you think because it's like you've put a different way of seeing reality in my brain. And now it's like, I can see all the ways. It's like, not all the ways, but I can see your way. It's like, I love this. I love it.
I love it too.
Thank you.
How long have you been into spirituality? I'm just curious, like how long since you started?
I would say probably a good decade at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
10, 11 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Well, now it's been, so it's like 10 years. Now it's been like 12 years. Yeah. 12.
Around the same time. Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I love this.
I know. Me too.
I saw your page. I was like, I love her. She like gets it. She
gets it. You totally get it. Like I didn't realize how much. Well, actually, no, I did actually see an interview you did with someone, and I'm like, oh, okay, she actually gets. Oh, okay, she gets it. Right? I'm like, oh, she gets it.
Well, you know what? I would love this to be a part one. Paget.
You got it. It rhymes with gadget. Okay, now let's try my last name. I'm just curious.
Paget Kagy. Paget Kagy.
Kagy.
Paget Kagy. Did I get it?
No, Paget Kagy.
Kagy. Paget Kagy.
Paget Kagy.
Paget Kagy. Damn, we're doing this again.
Every iteration
came full circle. I love this. Oh my God.
Now,
Can
if
you
don't
back?
get it right the next time, that's when I'm going to get offended. I'm just joking.
Okay. I'm going to be here practicing like Paget. We're here practicing for 10 minutes before. Oh my God. You're going to jump on. I'm going to be like, Paget
Kagy. Paget Kagy. You're going to have like an earpiece in. It's like, what is it again? Okay. Kagy.
I know. Oh my God. And you know what's so funny is I told my assistants this morning, I'm like, listen, figure out how to say her name because I don't want to mess it up. Oh my God. This is a thing. This is one of them level things I'm having to learn here. Oh man. Oh my God, too many laughs. Anyways, you know what? Thank you so much for spending time with me. Where can people find you? Because they need to find you. Your content is phenomenal. So,
oh, thank you so much. You can go to Instagram. My full name, Paget Kagy, is my handle, or pagetkagy.com. But yeah, that's where it's best to get in touch with me. and everything.
Awesome. Well, guys, all the links will be in the description. And this was the part 1. We're going to have a part 2 because I swear, like I could just.
We should go like deep.
Yeah.
Into
I would
some
love
of the.
to.
Well, I'm curious, like if your audience is, because I think I did see that esoteric, some of the more esoteric stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we go deep into some crazy rabbit hole stuff. I love it. The deeper we go, the more fun over here. My people love it too. They're listen, my people are deep, okay?
No, I know. I can tell. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they dig through stuff and go there.
Like the conspiracy. I mean,
we can go a little bit there. Well, you know what? I feel like life is the conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are so many systems of control.
Yeah.
And so you have to see outside that because, you know,
100%.
Conspiracy theorists like will look crazy 10, 20 years ago. But now it's like,
No, actually it's no. Yeah. No, I mean, we can go into a whole, but yeah. No, I think a lot of conspiracy theorists, it's really just them piercing through the matrix in their own way from a three-dimensional perspective and seeing the mechanisms that are happening behind the actual mechanisms happening behind the scenes. Now, I mean, I've gone through the rabbit hole and stuff like that, but yeah, I definitely think there's something actually valuable to people really questioning what they've been told.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we were told that we don't have power. We were told that there is no magic. We're told that we're supposed to just go to work and hustle our asses off until we can retire. And it's like, no,
but that's not the game. That's not the game other people are playing. That's not the game the people at the top are playing.
Thank you.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and don't necessarily reflect those of the producers or affiliates. We do not guarantee the accuracy of the content. Please verify information and seek professional advice when needed. By listening, you agree not to hold us liable for any actions taken based on this content. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you enjoy the episodes ahead. Love unlimited, feel unlimited.
Before we wrap, if you're done living in loop mode, the addictions, the emotional swings, the stuck seasons, start with a tool that actually shifts your state. Go to unlimitedmeditationpack.com and download the free pack I created. It's 5 targeted meditations with theta entrainment frequencies that drop you into the zone where real subconscious reprogramming happens. These sessions calm your system, clear the old patterns, and open you up to better health, better connections, more clarity, and a life that finally moves. Start there. unlimitedmeditationpack.com.